All right, so we have a chainsaw. It is an electric chainsaw and it hasn't been used in an entire season. So what we're gonna do is give it an initial test. We're gonna put some fresh oil in it and we're going to verify that the tension is right and make sure that this chainsaw is all ready for us to do some cutting of branches this afternoon. So just a quick little overview of this chainsaw. You got your bar, you got your chain, this is your oil reservoir, this is your trigger, and obviously it's not plugged in so we can do whatever we want. This is a pretty simple chainsaw. So behind this little casing is really where the bar attaches. And so we're gonna remove this, and they say for the first bring up of the season, you wanna remove the chain and bar and put some oil in it and let it just run for like 2 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do first. And I put it on this box because, as you can see, the chainsaw is kind of strange in terms of size. So if you want to see a sideways look at it, you kind of have to put it in a strange spot. So we're just unscrewing this, and that just removed this plate. We'll set that aside. And then you want to just keep screwing that. This is like your tensioner. You keep unscrewing that, and you notice the chain itself is becoming loose. We're going to set that chain aside. Now, we've just got the body of the chainsaw. And this whole area right here, it tends to get filled with grass and weeds and stuff like that. So while you've got it open, you kind of want to, jiggle it around, brush some stuff off. Maybe take your gloves and brush out any like little bits of dirt, etc. This is actually not too bad, honestly. There we go. All right, and so when I add the oil, this system is configured to just squirt out little bits of oil right here, which keeps the chain going. So we're gonna go ahead and fill the oil, and we'll watch this reservoir fill, and then we'll plug it in and run it for 2 minutes and watch the oil start to come out here. So first thing we do is open this, and we've got ourselves some bar and chain oil. We're gonna open it up, and let's see. All right, we're gonna keep that just like this. Sometimes it's helpful to honestly pour it in the grass instead of the driveway where you're gonna maybe make a little bit of a mess. All right. Not that we want our oil to fall in the grass either, but all right, we'll pour carefully. Okay, let that oil get in there. We don't want to do too much. This reservoir isn't gigantic. Okay, just noticed it started to fill right here. We're watching this little reservoir here. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to close this, and then I'll put it right side up, and we'll see how the oil level, well, looks pretty full. Honestly, probably over full. See what happens. No, I guess just the right amount. That's great. All right, so our reservoir is full. As you move it, you can see that. So now let's go ahead and put the cap back on our oil. Close that up. And as you're running the chainsaw, you might need to refill that like, every 10 or 15 minutes. So you want to keep an eye on that little reservoir. And let's go ahead and plug it in. And we can just let it run here on the ground because it's not really going to do anything. All right. So And there's a safety mechanism right here, which is like to protect your hand. It won't run unless that's back and you push this red button, I believe. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna set our watch and we will come back in 2 minutes. All right, so I did some shaking and you can see some of that oil starting to come out. See, it's just, so that's good. The shaking was probably not necessary. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that oil away and do it again. You can see the oil coming out. So that means that the oil is prepped. So now we just put that blade back on and we'll do a tension check. And then we will and then we'll give it a try. All right. So the way we put the blade on, or the bar, it's the bar and chain, there is no blade. There's hundreds of tiny blades. So you want to get your chain in the groove. You can see there's a groove here that the chain falls into. And so you want to get it in the groove all the way around so that there's plenty of space here on the back, so that when you place the chain here, you can get the chain around this part right here. There we go. Because we want our chain to be around the entire saw. All right, so now that that's you'll notice there's a negative and a positive on this tension crank. Now this is a simplified chainsaw. Sometimes there's multiple cranks, etc. So we're gonna turn this to the right, which means increase tension, which essentially just moves this bar out and pulls the tension of the chainsaw all the way around. So if we were to tighten it all the way, this chain would be very, very taut. Now, the thing that we want, as far as, oh, wow, I did something really dumb. I just had it plugged in while I was doing anything on the chainsaw. That was pretty dumb. Learning experience. So, anyway, now that we've got that on there, I'll just show you that the way that we actually set the bar tension, or the chain tension, is we pull the bar. You see the bar has some flex up and down. You hold it here by the tip and you hold it up, and this is the scenario where you actually want to be doing the tensioning. Now what you want is for the when you're holding the bar tip up, you want that lip, or that teeth of the chain, to go into that groove just a little bit. So we've got our bar in, we've got the bar up, now we're just tensioning it. Oops. Oh, we got out of the groove entirely here. Maybe we can do this on the side instead. Let's try that again. Okay. Take our chain, put it all the way through, put it on there, and Come on, go around. We want that. There we go. Wow, really messing this up. Put the chain in the groove. Chain in the groove, hold it in place. Now you really should probably do this with gloves on, because right now this chain is pretty dull. But if this were sharpened recently, it could very easily cut me in the hands. So you want your tension rod at ultimate, all the way untense. Now we'll go ahead and tension it up. Okay. So I will go ahead and do the safety maneuver, which is to have your gloves on at this time. All right. So now let's take our chainsaw, hook down like this. We'll remove the tension unto the point where you can see it start to slack here on the bottom. There it goes. So now we'll take it, we'll pull it taut, and we'll rotate it clockwise. There we go. All right, so now when it hangs untense, it just barely sits almost outside that groove. So I'll tension that up just a little bit. That's just about perfect, I think. Okay. We can go ahead and put this cover on. Now the cover, you want to click it in. This little groove goes right in there on that side. In. And then you tighten this interior screw. All right, so now the outside is all good to go. Okay, so if we were to check our chain tension out in the sun here, we see looks pretty good. I like that. And if we wanted to increase or decrease the tension, counterclockwise on this red turner will make it a little bit looser, and clockwise will make it a little bit tighter. So you can tell it just got a little bit looser, but we don't need that. We'll go back here, we'll pull the bar up. Yeah. Pull the bar up, tighten it just a little, and let it down. And you can see it's not too tense. There we go. You want a little bit of slack in there. All right, so, and we got our oil reserve looking good. I think we're ready to turn it on. Now you also want to have some safety glasses anytime you turn on a power tool. Well, these are not super safety glasses, but they're the best I got right now. Okay. And let's go ahead and plug it in. Get our polarities lined up on there. And good thing we got our gloves. We make sure this brake is put right front. This thing is set, and push that little red button and let it roll. Now that it's run for a little bit, it warms up. You'll see the chain looks a little bit loose. We're gonna go ahead and unplug and retension it, which means take it like this, pull the tip up, turn it just a little bit, and let it go. And let's do this again. Now these are all things that you want to do before ever, cutting anything, because this thing is dangerous even just sitting here. All right. Okay. Yeah, honestly, it looks like maybe it could be a little more tensioned. So we'll do that again. Unplug it. Pull the tip up. Give it a little crank. Okay. Let's do it again. Just make sure. Alright. Bar seems fine. Everything seems pretty good. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Every time you're touching that thing, you're touching it with gloves and you're touching it with it unplugged. Alright, I'm gonna let it run for 30 seconds or so. All right, I'd say this tension is perfect. You can see that the lip or the teeth are just barely in that groove. I'd say that's pretty much perfect. All right, and it looks like we are dripping a little bit of oil, so I'll assume it's properly primed. Let's practice on a small branch. And then we'll call this set up for later when we actually want to do our cutting. All right, that felt pretty good. I think we're in business. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our chainsaw down, because usually the job takes so much time to set up. I gotta go get a phone call and stuff, and I'm gonna come back and just chop that tree down or cut that tree into pieces.